The wealth of knowledge that is published in peer-reviewed journal articles and books should not be taken lightly. It has the power to influence our thoughts, our perception of politics, society, and the economy. We need to seriously pay attention to how this knowledge is produced and why we need to consume it systematically. It is important to emphasize the word systematically because the sophisticated developments happening around the world require us to be systemic knowledge consumers rather than general readers. In the knowledge industry today, we are seeing a podcast revolution. It is a meaningful development that is good for the general public. It is now possible than ever before to learn about a variety of subjects from different knowledge producers. We can now interact with them directly and learn about their books. It is a time for international public education. Knowledge is no longer limited to the classroom alone, but the public media. It is now more than ever before easier to access and consume.
So I work with a UN-facing think tank. It's called the UN University Center for Policy Research. And there I lead their research on conflict prevention and sustaining peace. So everything from peacekeeping, peace building, future of peace operations to specific issues like how climate change is affecting conflict, how youth are getting involved in peace building, or how does human rights play into some of these efforts to staunch conflict. But in addition to that, I also lecture at Columbia's master's program for public policy.
Vandy Kanyeko. I am the director of the conflict resolution program at Portland State University in what they call the Pacific Northwest of the United States. So it's in the state of Oregon. And Oregon, for those of you that may be wondering, is one of the largest states that's just wedged between California and Washington state. So I am the director of the conflict resolution program, which, it's a graduate program. We originally started as a graduate program, but we now have undergraduate programs as well.
I'm a professor of economics for many years. I also am a professor at Wesleyan University in Connecticut. So I have been teaching for 36 years on economics. I mostly work on labor economics and gender issues, but as first provost at Wesleyan and then as president at Hobart and William Smith, I became interested in what was going on in higher education.
I'm Lou Gard, Vice President and General Counsel here at Hobart and William Smith. And so as Vice President and General Counsel here, I'm the primary legal advisor to Hobart and William Smith. So support, senior leadership and the Board of Trustees across all areas as it relates to legal needs, legal advice.
I'm an associate professor of politics and international relations. So a lot of my work is on sovereignty broadly. And so that means international questions of international sovereignty as they pertain to territorial disputes and international trade. And a lot of what I've done in that space is also looking at interstate conflicts among African countries.